Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're in episode 5 of the Progressive Linear Load series, how to employ different strategies and knowing those different contexts. And we're going to move into specific criteria for different divisions, bikini and figure. And the reason I lump these two together, Adam, is most women are just not going to come into this with the kind of, grainy, striated glutes, shoulders, and that kind of thing that you're looking for. And as you mentioned about a client, I think in the last episode, sometimes you almost have to make sure they don't have as much detail. You're trying to, soften them up a little bit. So knowing the client and their genetic propensity, but also knowing exactly what they need to look like on contest day is incredibly important. So how different, just from that particular criteria mandate for bikini and figure, do you immediately have kind of a template in mind of what you're going to do for your women peaking for those divisions, or is it still 100% based on their own genetics?
A lot of times it really is 100% based on their own genetics. So I know, typical peaking protocol might involve a figure athlete training their legs early in the week, just so they can get an added recovery. But with a bikini competitor, just like I was talking about my last client, I did want her legs soft. So we kept up on the lower body a bit because I didn't want them to recover. I didn't want that detail to really shade. And I think that's important. And even in figure, you can have too hard a leg. So it will come down to, our overall strategy going in. And when you get on the pro level, it is really that fine tuned, and the national level, it's really that fine tuned. So it really is person to person based on the division criteria and the person that you're working with.
Do you find in general, working with bikini and figure competitors, that you're still following a pretty progressive linear load model where you're looking to get those carbs a little higher, a little higher, a little higher throughout the end of the week?
Yeah, those recovery dynamics are usually super important. And most of the time my clients are ready early. So there are a lot of similarities in terms of the load, in terms of just what kind of recovery we're after and making sure that that fullness is there. A lot of my girls don't have a ton of mature muscle like some of the other girls we might see on stage. But then it seems like my masters competitors, they're always the ones I'm peaking for just recovery and maybe not as much fullness because they've been training and dieting for years. They have thinner skin. So we usually kind of cut off when they're ready just a little bit earlier too, because they can hold a higher body fat and look leaner than a younger competitor typically.
Now for bikini and figure competitors who are ready and you've been going through a progressive linear carb load, but there's still this juxtaposition of, I want to have the fullness there. I need to have my shoulders look nice and full, and even quads and glutes and hams. A lot of people don't realize how different levels of depletion and dehydration can even make your legs and your glutes look super small. Whereas with the right level of hydration and the right kind of carb load, you get that muscle fullness in your glutes and your hams just like you would in your biceps or your shoulders. So do you still have them aggressively go for as much fullness as they can get, and then maybe you're a little bit more careful on how they warm up backstage? How do you get the fullness without crossing the line and looking too muscular?
Yeah, that's where I like to lean on water and sodium more, because you can do so much with water and sodium. You can load all the carbs in the world, and if you don't have salt and water, you're just not going to be full. So that might be where I have them wake up a little bit earlier, make sure they hydrate longer before the show, make sure they get their meals in earlier so then they have time to digest them. I think that's a really good strategy going in, because if they have a meal like a couple minutes before stage, one, it's not going to do anything for them aside from provide blood sugar for the pump up, but also it's just not, it actually might shade their detail because they have circulating glucose that hasn't gotten into the muscle tissue yet. So I think it's really important to get those meals in early. leaning on the side of leanness, but also just having that longer time of hydration is really important. I also came up with this because, especially with my guys, I just noticed no matter what I did for my guys, they always seem to look better at the night show. And it's because they have more time to get water deeper into you. And the longer someone can drink, the better off they're going to be.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, stay tuned. We're going to switch over in the next episode to using this strategy, the progressive linear load, for bodybuilding and physique when maybe, more density is important. So we'll see you next time.